guys, today, big day, I am going to show you how I'm redoing my items. A lot of work, wouldn't suggest that you redo all yours, but if you've never built items into your game and you're looking for a cool template generator, I got the thing to show you. Like I said, I'm redoing them all using a different system. I used to use Pages for my items. It's a software for Mac. Love Pages. I'm still using that for my badges, but for my cards and items this year, I switched to this one called MTG Cardsmith. MTG stands for Magic the Gathering. It was a card game. It's still a card game. You can go. It's a collectible card game. And this is like a template that you can use to design your own. So looking at the site, let's dive into the site. Looking at it here, you can see the cards that I've created so far. I don't have many. I have 21. Like I said, I'm redoing all of my game cards because I've added a lot of things to my game, like the hearts and the magic and the knowledge points. And then also, to be honest, I had probably 160 items. Some of them didn't work anymore because they're older items that, like, I don't do that thing anymore, right? So I had to redo some stuff. Here we can see my cards. They look beautiful. They print out really nice. And I wanted to show you some of like the features I have and sort of how I design my card in terms of game mechanics, and that I've really put some thought into the information that's found in a card for the player so that it's easier for the player. Really, I mean, we could look at any of these. I'm going to show you one that's pretty simple here. Let's go with the room key. All right, so here's my room key. Some of the things you can see on this. Right away, you're struck with the fact that it's got a green border. So you can apply color to cards, and what I would do is make that color mean something. So in my case, green is sort of your standard items. They're not attached to a particular unit. You can get them any time of the year. So that's what green means to me. Then up here we have the title room key, and then you can also see right here there's a number. Now, I chose to go with like an intentional system where that number there represents the level you need to be on the game Realm of Nobles to be able to use the item. So here, this is like a first day item, something that they're going to unlock and get right away. So I made it a level 0. You don't even have to be a level 1 to use it. Then down below here, you have the name of the card, or not the name of the card, but kind of like a category of card. And one of the ones that I went with, I looked through their long list of categories they have pre-built for the card game. There was one called Interrupt and Instant. And I loved this idea. Interrupt here means you can use it anytime in the class you want. And instant means you have to use it kind of right away, instant, right at the beginning of class. So that is that like bell ringer time, sort of, that first 2-3 minutes where you're not really like doing anything just yet. That's when they can use the cards that say instant on them. So continue to break down. Here's a little graphic that you can apply to your cards. One of the reasons to go premium, for those of you that are thinking about it, you get access to several cards that have the premium logo on them. That's going to be good for me because I don't want kids designing their own items and putting them in circulation. That would be really easy for me to figure out too, but it's also just nice that I know they're not going to go and pay money for it. I believe it's $5 to have an account. Either way, down below here, you're going to see the text, like what happens with the card. I use this lightning bolt symbol here to say how many times the card gets used. So if there's one, it means it's a one-time use item. They just use it and they hand it to me. If they see multiple like they do in this card, then every time they use it, I'm going to like cross it off with like a pen, and then when it's used up, we're just going to throw it out because it's been kind of marked up. Here, because it was a first item that they get in the game, I actually put uses left written right on the card. I'm not going to do that for all my cards because they're going to eventually get lightning bolts equal uses. The other thing I forgot to mention, if it has no lightning bolts on it, then it's kind of an unlimited item that they can use day after day after day. Remember, all my items can only be used once per day though. Down below here, this was the other thing that I really was super excited with the way I've laid out my game. Having health, magic, and knowledge points, I chose to include this little box down below, and I've put in my directions, and I've told students the first number before the slash means your magic level, and the number after the slash is your knowledge level. So in this case, this easy basic item that anybody can use, they don't need any magic or any knowledge points, and they don't need any level. So that's the basic walkthrough. Now let's walk through how to actually build a card on here. We're gonna go new card here, 15. Here, it wants us to upload artwork. You can get artwork all sorts of places. I usually check DeviantArt as well as Google Images, right? Those are two great places to look. Over here, I'm showing you kind of my organizational structure. Here's a bunch of pictures I've found that I haven't used yet for items. And then I have used. So this is if I ever have to remake an item, if I spelled something wrong and I have to go back. I have all the images I've used, and I can just like replop it in here and remake the item. And then finished cards are the downloaded finished cards, so it's easier, quicker for me to print. I don't have to log in, whatever. So looking here, I'm going to make this one called Heat Shield, is what I was thinking. So I'm going to put it, drop my artwork here. Brings up a little like crop box that you can make this smaller if I want. I like it as is, so I'm just going to hit confirm. Gives you a little look. This is what it's going to look like. I say OK. Then we have card title. This is a required box, so I'm going to give it the name Heat Shield, right? And then casting cost. This is that number that was up in the corner that I was telling you is their level. They give you all sorts of these other features. You could use them if you want, if you build that into your game. I don't have any of that built into my game, but I wanted that consistency that kids knew that equals level. So this heat shield, I want them to be able to use kind of soon in the game, so I'm going to make it a level 3 item for me. In my game, that kind of makes sense. This is that color, like what do we want the background to look like? For me, I'm going to make it a green. Definitely a green. Then we say card type. This is where I got that thing instant or interrupt. This is going to be an interrupt, right? Here, if you want to put something after the interrupt, it will say interrupt dash whatever you want. I'm just leaving it as interrupt. Here's where you get the different card items. I've been using shield and axe lately, so that's the one I'm liking. All right, here we get another sort of panel of choices to put in sort of text box. You can use italics. To do so, you have to put sort of caret, lowercase I, end caret, and now whatever I write after this is going to be italicized. This item, I want you to have to be health, full. Now I want to end my italicized, so I put that / lowercase I end bracket. So now that'll be italicized. Then below that, I'm going to put BP. BP for my game is battle points. I love BP. You should think about adding it to yours. Great if you use boss battles. We could do a lot with BP. So I'm going to give this item 10 battle points. Not a ton, but in the beginning of the game, that's kind of a big deal. Then I'm going to explain what the item does. So let's see, typing this out. I'm going to say the heat. No, we don't have to actually say it. You can protect another member during a boss battle when they are frozen and cannot answer the question. You may attempt to answer it. I'm going to put if you answer wrong, colon. I'm going to put that one-time symbol there. So it's an unlimited item other than the fact that if they answer it wrong, then they're done with this item. So then here I can click that box that says include power and toughness. This is where I get that magic number or the knowledge number. So for me, 0 magic on this item. However, I'm going to put 1 knowledge required. And these categories and things I leave blank. I'm going to hit preview card, and it's going to, voila, show us what our new brand spanking new delicious card looks like. I think they look beautiful. Got the heat shield, the number there. italicized health. So this is where they can't use this item if they've been dinged. You know, if they got one heart off in the previous boss battle, they can't use this item. So keeping yourself healthy tells you if you answer it wrong. Looks like pretty good. Spelled things right. I like it. I'm going to hit publish. Okay, and then here I can add it to one of my sets. I'm going to put year-long items. Save to set. And now if I go to mrmatera, you can see I have 4 sets, 22 cards now instead of 21. If I go over to my all year items, you should now see in here, there she is, heat shield. All right, and then you can just hit the download button. It downloads. Hit print, and this comes up, and you're like, what do I do? This is where I just go copies per page, 9, boom, perfectly sized for the sheet, and away you go. All right, so there was a walkthrough of MTG's Cardsmith and how I'm applying it in my classroom. I hope you found this helpful. Think about ways to sort of design your own, but remember, be intentional with your design. You are a game designer, so think about those things, that consistency, just like in your classroom, will help in your item creation. It'll help the game player sort of get into your game. And the less that they have to think about the mechanic, and that just sort of frees them up to play with the mechanic. So, you know, think about that, you know, and being intentional, choosing to have like things over and over, like that level up in the corner, the sort of magic and knowledge in the bottom corner. This all sort of helps the player. You know, at first it's a learning curve, but then it just flows, and it just flows, allowing them to sort of give way into the experience, and that's really what we want. So I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Also, you know, if you could just smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, you know, follow along on this journey. It helps so much knowing that you guys are part of this, you know, with me. I love hearing from you guys. If you could, please think about answering down below just a question or two about the items you use in your game. So I'm going to try posting a question down there and seeing if you guys can kind of answer that. I would love to hear from you. As always, stay connected. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at mrmatera. And also check out explorelikeapirate.com for all sorts of things. We have a monthly giveaway this month. Well, actually every month, but check it out. It's always good to hear from you guys. Take care, and I hope that your game is going great.